2.
Welcome to this week's edition of Catch It Live. I'm Jack Riddle, Jim's twin brother. Well, not so true. And I'm here with Anthony Joseph. Joseph, I know your name. I know this guy. I see him every week. And we're here live at Jimmy's Grill in Bridgeville doing catchitlive.com. And, of course, we're always looking for guests. Anything's got anything interesting going on. We've got a great lineup tonight. Who's with us tonight, Anthony? Joseph?
I'm not going to answer if you
Come on. Who's with us tonight?
You got the list there.
I know that, but I thought you'd want to play along.
I'm playing along.
Okay,
we have Kevin Jefferson coming up at 7
coming up at 7. And at 6:40, Rob Arlett? Is that how you say that? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, that's right.
And then we have some guy, the sports guru at 6:30, who just finished your show online. Who's that? Anthony Joseph. That's right. Play along. And then Tom Protak from Habitat for Humanity, a great organization.
He's been on the show before, so glad to have him.
And that is a great organization. Jim is off tonight. We're not quite sure where Jim is, and we've got the greatest technical group in the world running tonight. Colin is back there trying to keep this all together. So if things go slightly awry tonight, Jim, we know who to blame. He'll be the guy taking us down. So before we get started, Jim, every week we open with prayer. So how about if we do that, and then we'll get rolling on our show tonight? How about that?
Sounds good.
Good idea. Dear Lord, thank you for bringing us tonight. Keep us ever focused on doing the right thing in your community, in this world. Keep our thoughts and our minds focused on doing the right thing in our community and doing things that please you. In Jesus' name, amen. So big lineup tonight, big show. We're going to talk about sports. And I know you've talked about Deladon. Could you do your show? Your show runs a half hour before this one?
Right, from 5:30 to 6.
From 5:30 to 6, so you tune in early and see Anthony do that.
I talked lacrosse, and then I talked with John Busby about Deladon. So we got all the information about Deladon.
I'm going to give you. I got to ask you one question about Deladon, and we're going to talk about NASCAR because it's a big
Spinning Wheels Racing Report.
Spinning Wheels Racing Report's and something big's coming up locally here in NASCAR.
Yes.
And the big question. I'm going to give you. I have a question somebody gave me. You're going to have to tell us about what's going on Thursday night. You know what's going on Thursday night?
I know where I'm going to be, but we'll have to see.
Okay, we'll see if we know that. So, one of your biggest fans who works with me said you ask him what big
Mark
event.
Donovan?
No, that's another one of the guys that works with me. But this is another NASCAR guy that works with me who said I need to ask you about what's going on Thursday night in Delmar.
Oh, okay.
You know what that is? He said you'd know. He said you'd know. He said if
We've had it a couple times.
Okay. Well, he said you'd be able to tell us all about it. So I'll give you a heads up on what I'm going to ask you about.
Okay.
So we have Tom Protak from Habitat for Humanity. Do we need to do anything else, Mr. Collin, before we get rolling with the show? Stay tuned to Catch It Live. We're live in Bridgeville. Oh, we have a special guest, I see. No, we don't have a special guest. Let's just say there's a special guest here. Maybe we'll get him on camera. We'll see. But we're live here at Jimmy's Grill. The one thing we do know tonight is they have the all-you-can-eat spaghetti special. And I see the main manager here tonight too. Oh, you know the food's always going to be good when Eric's in the house. So stop in at Jimmy's Grill, stop in and see Catch It Live. All you can eat spaghetti special. They have a great salad bar. We'll be back here live in 2 minutes. Catch It Live, Bridgeville, Delaware at Jimmy's Grill. We'll be right back. Okay, good.
You're live.
We are back here at Jimmy's Grill. We didn't have enough time to get that spaghetti between the break. Everything is live and going here at Catch It Live. I'm Jack Riddle. I'm in for Jim Weller extraordinaire, who tonight is playing bingo or doing something. I'm joined by Tom Protak from Sussex County Habitat for Humanity, and he is their Community Engagement Director.
Community Engagement Director. Hold on,
and we're going to get him a different mic already. Jim. They've got Anthony Joseph now running the board, so we're going to be lucky if this even gets out of this restaurant. But we're going to try real hard. Now, I know a little bit about Habitat for Humanity, and of course, all the great things you do. And we have to talk just a little bit about your executive director.
Our executive director, Kevin Gilmore.
Kevin Gilmore. Now, we know Kevin Gilmore. Yeah. I know Kevin Gilmore.
And he's listening now, so I have to be very careful.
He's not listening.
Of course he is. He's probably in his car on his way home listening.
The only way he's listening is if Heidi showed him how to turn the computer on, turned it on, and made him sit in front of her.
Oh, my. I won't comment on that. But Kevin is very, first of all, he wants to thank you for having us again, because we've been regulars on your show, and we love coming. Every time we get the invitation, either he or I make an opportunity to...
And he knew I was going to be here.
He did. He said, say hello to Jimmy, and he'll be a little bit disappointed that he missed someone who's been at his bachelor party, apparently.
I don't want to hear about that too on live. Party, but Kevin's a great guy. He's married to a great lady who's one of the best attorneys in Sussex County. And he runs a great organization. I mean, Habitat... is affiliated with a national organization, but you're really on the ground here in Sussex County making a difference. Why don't you tell us a little bit to somebody who doesn't know about Habitat? Okay, we got to go to commercial. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Catch It Live. Apparently, Mr. Gilmore, who was stumbling around in the background because we told him we wouldn't let him on the air tonight, tripped over one of the cords and created a problem. So, hey, Kev, thanks a lot for all your help, and I'm really thankful that you know how to run an organization better than you know how to run a video thing. So, welcome back again, Tom. We were talking about Habitat, and why don't you tell a person that's never heard about Habitat just what exactly does Habitat do?
Briefly, Habitat's an international organization that was founded in 1978, and it's been, a grassroots foundation. It's a Christian organization that was founded by Millard Fuller, and the whole idea was to help people, to give them a hand up and not a handout, and with poverty housing. And it originated out of America's Georgia. And what Millard thought would be good is if you help people build their own house, you teach them, and you work with them, you front them the money a little bit, and they pay you back over time, but they put their sweat equity, their labor, and their time into the project, that it would be successful, not only for them to have a house, but to raise their children, for their children to do better in school, for their health to do better. And they started this little movement in America's Georgia in 1978, and it really, really has blossomed. It's international now. We're in over 73 countries. And in the United States, there's about 1,500 affiliates just like ours here in Sussex County. Now, Sussex County, we've been around for over 22 years. And we've been building for 22 years, and we have probably built at least 77 homes and served countless families throughout the county. And we continue to have an aggressive schedule in building. But our mission statement is unique. I like to brag about our mission statement here in Sussex County. It's this: seeking to put God's love into action. Sussex County Habitat brings people together to do three things: to build homes, obviously, to build communities, and then lastly, to build hope. And we take those three facets of our mission statement and we're serious about them because we believe we're putting God's love into action, and that's our Christian calling. And we do that, certainly people see physical buildings, they come out on the job site, but we're also building community. And then within building community, certainly in Georgetown and Seaford and Laurel, throughout this county, we also give hope to our families. And that's what we get even more excited about, seeing that hope of home ownership, seeing that hope that people care, seeing that hope that people want to help them help themselves and their lives and their families.
I mean, you have the resources of a large organization behind you, but really, you're doing work here on the ground. You said 77 homes. That's just in Sussex?
Yeah, we've built 77 homes since we've been founded. And we raise almost all of our money in the county to build these homes. I mean, we are based, in an international group, and they do give us support with resources minimally, and also staffing and things of those ideas when we need help from headquarters. But all of it's done through our staff, through our cadre of volunteers.
Now you got a big.
We have a big volunteer base, and we're so blessed with our volunteers, not only in construction, but in our office, in fundraising, and our fabulous restore in Georgetown.
So you just finished your golf tournament.
Yeah, it was huge.
Walt Jones?
The Walt Jones Memorial
Down
Project.
At the beach.
Yeah, this year it just took off. It blossomed. Walt Jones was a great guy who designed Midway Par 3. And ever since it was designed, they always donated the course to us for the day. And this is the 8th year that we had that tournament. And in those 7 years prior to, they raised enough monies to say that they could build a house in memory of Walt Jones. But this year, Jack, we hit the bonus. We expanded the project. We added other events. And it looks like we're going to raise, just in this year, $70,000.
Wow.
Our goal is to be able to, God willing, build a Walt Jones Memorial House every 2 years. But if we keep this momentum, it'll be every year.
That is fantastic.
It's huge.
So, I know you've got, how many, you have 4 or 5 houses underway right now?
Currently we have 5 houses underway. Georgetown Point is where we've been concentrated over the past couple years.
And Georgetown Point is
right in the town of Georgetown. If you know where McDonald's is and you know where Flex World Fitness is, we're right behind there. It's a local community.
I know the bank that helped do that.
How about that?
That little bank in Lewis called Community Bank.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we were involved with that a little bit.
And so we're building in there. We have a great project going on, a veteran build project. We are building a home for a disabled veteran. Her name is Mary Ellen Hellard. She's a single mom with 2 kids. And this house is being funded by veterans. So the Veterans Association throughout the county are stepping forward to help us raise money for this fund, for this project. They're doing fundraisers. And this Saturday is the first official day of the build day. So if people want to volunteer and come out, they can give us a call at Habitat, 302-855-1153. We'll get you your safety orientation and your waiver, and you can start working on Saturday on the Veteran Build Project. However, we also have another house across the street that's probably about 75% near completion. And we're doing some siding on that. We hope to get that project done within a month or so. But we've been really concentrated out in Seaford, in the Seaford area. On King Road, we have 2 homes being built there that will be dedicated on June the 19th. These 2 homes are a great project. It's part of our Collegiate Challenge program. And Collegiate Challenge is a program where college students, instead of going on their spring break to Cancun or to Florida, decide to give a week of service to a nonprofit.
Come here.
And they have chosen us, and we brag a little bit, and we're happy about it. We were the #1 Collegiate Challenge program last year in the country. So this year we actually had an international.
Do I have to give Kevin credit for all this? Sounds like good things are going on.
We do everything as a team.
Okay, good.
But we have a great shepherd and a great boss.
Okay.
But this year we had an international college group come down from Canada because they had heard about us and read on the website with the Habitat International the great stuff that we do.
Now let's make sure people understand this. I know that the folks that you're building the houses for, they have to contribute.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you have some college, you have volunteers, but these volunteers know how to build a house.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, these are people that I know you've got skilled craftsmen that are involved in making sure that when this is done, I mean, you're building hope. You're building somebody a house.
Yeah, we build
a real first class. I mean, I've been in some of the
beautiful homes. We call them simple, decent, and affordable. Okay, you're not going to go in and see crown molding and granite countertops, but you're going to see a solid home, a 5-star energy efficient home, a home that meets all the inspection. As you said, Jack, many of our regulars, we call them our volunteers, are skilled craftsmen. And the local businesses and contractors come out, and electricians, work on our projects and give us top rate service, and at cost or a little bit above cost. And you were getting onto something there. We don't give our homes away. Some people, when they hear Habitat, they do great things. They give homes away to the poor. We don't do that. Our program is we sell the home to the homeowner when they're done their year with us. We sell them with a not-for-profit mortgage for 30 years, and they pay their mortgage every month. They take family partner classes every month with us to learn how to be a good homeowner, learn about budgeting.
They've got an investment in it.
They have a big investment. Plus, every adult who's living in that house serves 250 hours, volunteer hours, of what we call sweat equity. That's their deposit. That's their sweat equity. That's their hard labor on their house and on any Habitat project that we're working on. So if you have a mom and dad, going to qualify for a Habitat house, that's 500 hours that they're going to do within a year. So that really adds up to all their days off for a year sometimes.
Now, I heard something about you're doing something with Brendan Warfel.
With Brendan T. Warfel and with Burris Logistics in Milford. We got a great partnership. We announced it a few months ago. But those two companies are coming together to build a house in Milford. We just settled on the land on Gilchrist Street, not too far down from Burris Logistics. So basically what's going to happen is Brendan T. Warfel is going to oversee the construction.
I know Brendan. He's a good man.
He's an excellent man, a good Christian man. I tell you what, he is so excited about this project and getting his subs and everybody involved in it. And it's an easy house for him to build because he's used to building some big houses.
He built some big ones.
And certainly some big shopping centers and big commercial projects. But Brendan has been on board with this as well as Donnie Burris. And what Burris hopes to do is to allow their employees to volunteer on this house. So with Brendan's knowledge in building the home and with the Burris Logistics folks volunteering and signing up.
That's Brendan calling me right now.
Look, he's calling right now. We got a donation coming in on line 1. We'll take it.
We take MasterCard, Visa,
and cold cash.
And cold cash. Just make the checks out to Habitat.
But we always are accepting donations. But we're excited about it because Brendan's knowledge with construction, the folks from Burris, and we're going to reach out to the
large. And this is being built in downtown Milford? Is that
Yep, right off of Marshall Street. You go down Marshall to South Gilchrist. It's a beautiful lot there, and we're going to build a nice.
Now, this is Warfel trivia. He built a duplex right next to Burris. That was his first house.
Exactly.
Right on the back of the Little League Park. He took me by it one time because I told him, you build all these fancy houses. He said, no, wait a minute. I can show you a not fancy house I built.
And
he took me by it, right back on the backside of Burris Logistics near the ballpark.
Yeah, we are just so thrilled because what we hope to do, honestly, Jack, is with this model, seeing two companies come together, we're going to ask other companies throughout the county to say, why don't you give it a shot?
Now, I've seen Dogfish they've done a build for.
Dogfish gives us an annual day of service. Once a year, we can count on them for their annual day of service. They shut down the brewery and the restaurant. And
hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, they do.
Shut down the brewery.
There's still some people there.
Okay, good.
But they give us like 200 workers. But like Scott Lanham from Accessible Home Builders in Seaford, he started this model with us. He has built 2 Habitat homes for us, where Scott, as the contractor, leads the house, and then he asks his subs and he asks other local people to contribute to it. And it puts another house on our build schedule, and we put another family in the house, and it helps accelerate that whole program.
And I know you build houses, and that's a pretty intense thing where you get people involved, but you've also got another way that people can kind of get involved through Restore?
Yeah, our Restore is it's one of our greatest treasures. It certainly is one of the fundraising arms that support our mission.
Tell us what Restore, I know what Restore is, but
absolutely. Restore is kind of like our thrift store, but it's all for building supplies. So we do building supplies, we do doors, we do windows, we do heating and air conditioning units. We have gently used furniture. We have appliances. We have countertops. We have cabinets. And basically, it's kind of like a Lowe's or Home Depot thrift store where folks donate to us. We resell it, probably about 75% off of what it would cost in a store. And then all those monies go towards our mission and our ministry. And we're very proud to say once a year now, we're building a Habitat home out of those proceeds.
Now, builders can be involved by if they have excess or leftover building, they can donate to that.
Absolutely. We have so many builders, they'll call us up and they'll say, we have all this siding left and we can't put it anymore on the house or we over-ordered. Bring it over, we sell it. Cabinets, sinks, anything we'll take that's in good shape.
Do you also take stuff out of houses?
We do. That's a neat program. That's a pre-demo program, pre-demolition. And what we do with that, we've actually celebrated our 50th one about a month ago. We go into a home before they knock it down, whether it's on the beach or they're remodeling or their kitchen or whatever, and we send our pre-demo team in, and they'll go in and they'll take and salvage everything that can be resold. And then we take it out.
There's some nice stuff in some of those houses at the
absolutely,
beach.
I know.
Unbelievable what they tear down.
The cabinets that come out. We get whole cabinet sets. We literally unload them off the truck, and someone's buying them in the store. Entire cabinet sets for $1,500.
So that's a way you can support Habitat by going there, getting a value for yourself,
absolutely.
And the money all goes to Habitat to help fund the operation.
I tell folks, they'll say to me, Tom, I don't want to go on a roof and put down shingles. I said, but you know what? You can go to the Restore. You can donate, because we have free delivery. We pick up stuff and deliver it to our store.
in Georgetown.
Right in Georgetown, off the circle. And you can volunteer at the Restore. You can help out in the store. Or you can shop there. Your shopping dollars helps fuel our mission and ministry.
So that's a great way to get involved. If you don't want to build a house, if you don't want to go out there, you can play a part in that. There's a couple different ways people can get involved with you. I know you're involved in social media, Facebook.
We have two Facebooks. We have a Facebook for our affiliate, Sussex County Habitat, but we also have one for the Restore.
You ever seen Kevin's Facebook?
I haven't. I don't go on any of the employees' Facebooks because I don't want to see what's going on.
Yeah, we don't want to see them. We don't want to talk about
We work together all day long. I don't think we need to see what we're doing on the weekends. But our Facebook page, we kind of update it with all the groups. Like when we have a group come in last week, we had Penn State students coming in. We put this on today, this afternoon, Catch On Live. We do all the things, the events coming. We got a bunch of events coming up. The Restore, though, if you're a good shopper and you want a good deal, they'll take a picture of something that comes in that's really, really, a good deal, like a sofa set, and they'll put it online and say, this just came in. It's only $300.
The Restore is it on the railroad tracks?
It's right on Depot Street, right by the railroad tracks.
Right by the railroad
station. It's the old ice plant in Georgetown, 2-story brick building. Okay. Huge. Got a lot of stuff.
Upcoming events.
Yeah, our upcoming events, let's see. We have next Friday, we are sharing Habitat Night with the Shorebirds. So that's Friday, June the 7th, with the Shorebirds. The game's at 7:10, and there's going to be 7 different habitats there from Maryland and Delaware. So we're going to have a great contingency of habitat folks. We're selling tickets at our office. If you want them, I'll give you the best deal tonight. Only if you mention that you heard it on live tonight. $6 a person.
Oh, is that
$6 a person, and I'll even let you sit next to Kevin Gilmore. You could sit next to Kevin
pay extra
for
$12.
You sit next to Kevin. Yeah, absolutely.
I really think you should give that ticket away. They'll be sitting there, and all around them will be empty.
Exactly.
Except Heidi, she'll be sitting there.
She'll have to buy the empty
She likes him for some reason. I don't know. And what about the Magic Show?
Yeah, we have the Magic Show. The Sussex County Association of Realtors Community Service Foundation has been teaming up with us, and this is a third of a series of fundraisers they've done for us. And this is the Magic Show at Route 26 at the Dickens Parlor, which is very, very famous. I just learned about this not too long ago. You go there for a reception beforehand. They've got a great talent and magic show for folks. And then the last thing I think we've got coming up, we have something coming up almost every day. Now I remembered. This Saturday, the Dewey Beach Lions Club are hosting a community event all day long at the lodge there at the Lions Club. And they're going to have all different kind of groups there. We're going to have a table, but they're having a huge community yard sale and games and stuff for the kids. So I'll be there with a few other folks handing out some of our literature and opportunities, how you can volunteer, how you can become a part of Habitat.
You can really find out everything you want on your website. I mean, it has this incredible resource, all the news, all the events, and it is
www.sussexcountyhabitat.org.
Sussex County, or you just Google Sussex County Habitat, and everything in the world about the Restore, everything about the build, everything about wanting to be involved.
Absolutely.
It is a great organization. It's got national acclaim. It's got national resources, but it's based right here, and they're doing good work here. Tom, I want to thank you for coming in tonight. last time. We want to give that number one more time. Anybody that's interested in Restore, anybody that's interested in being a part of getting a house built for them, or you want to volunteer, reach Habitat at
302-855-1153.
So, Tom, thanks again
Jack,
for coming in.
And we look forward to coming back again. We love to come back and give you guys the update on all the great stuff we're doing.
I'll get my Kevin Gilmore stuff together.
Well, next time that we know you're going to be in, I'm going to make sure Kevin's here for that.
No, I don't know if I want to do that. Thank you very much, Tom. We are live here in Bridgeville at Jimmy's Grill. And next we have the man, Anthony Joseph, who's going to talk sports. He doesn't want to talk about Deldon, but we're going to talk about it for a minute before we get into NASCAR because there's some big things going on. Tom, thank you very much. Kevin, sorry you couldn't make it. Not really, but Tom did a great job. And we will be back live in Bridgeville on Catch It Live right after this break. So stay with us.
Jim Weller here for Catch It Live, and I'm so excited about all the opportunities this new year holds. If you have a business and you would like to see what Catch It Live could do for you, give me a call, Jim Weller, at 302-337-7300, or shoot me an email at jim@wellers.com, and let's get together and see what Catch It Live can do for you.
Hey, this is Colin Walls of Walls Service Center in downtown Milford, letting you know we do all types of auto repairs, including brakes, struts and shocks, tune-ups and timing belts, and we specialize in custom exhausts. We've been in this business since 1958, so we understand what our customers' needs are. So if you're looking for a new repair shop, come to the old repair shop, Walls Service Center, Front Street in downtown Milford.
If you're tired of coming home at the end of the day with cold, wet feet, get over to Southern States of Milford and try Red Wing boots on for size. Red Wing's waterproofing insulation assures your feet stay dry and comfortable all day long. And the exclusive Red Wing King Toe boot gives your feet 44% more room than regular work boots. Whether you spend your day climbing ladders, tilling the soil, or building something new, Red Wing's flexible membrane allows your boots to conform to your feet, not the other way around. Call 422-8066 or stop by Southern States of Milford on Williamsville Road today.
Hey everybody, Jim Weller here from Wellers in Bridgeville and Ellendale, talking to you today about carports. We sell carports. They include delivery and setup right to your yard. You can get a 12 by 21 for as little as $695. Give us a call or come see us today. Hey everybody, Jim Weller here from Wellers in Ellendale and Bridgeville, talking to you about this energy efficient eye heater. For only $177, you can get a heater that will heat 1,000 square feet on just pennies a day. So if you need some cheap heat, come on into Wellers in Ellendale or Bridgeville.
Welcome back to Bridgeville. We are live here at Catch It Live. I'm Jack Riddle, in for my twin brother Jim. Not really. Colin's my twin brother. But if you know anything about Colin and Jim, anytime you get near them and there's an opportunity to do something, they are on top of it. What a well-oiled machine. I'm here with my pal, Anthony Joseph.
And it's time for the Spinning Wheels Racing
and
Report.
It's time for the... You got to do it right. Spinning Wheels Racing Report.
Oh my.
A patented organization. And of course, just a reminder, Anthony does his own sports show, half hour before Catch It Live gets on from 5:30 to 6. Is that right? So if you want to get all caught up on all the sports, catch that before this show starts. But I have a feeling, Anthony, we're going to talk about the Coca-Cola 600 and Cablegate.
Yes.
Is that true? Can you tell, for those of you who didn't see the race, I don't think anything like this has ever happened.
No, it never has.
I mean, this is like, so you want to kind of give us the short on exactly what happened and how NASCAR dealt with it? Because how they dealt with it is almost as fascinating as what happened. But why don't you tell our viewers on what happened?
Well, Kyle Busch was leading the race. It was, we'll say, midway through the Coca-Cola 600. And a cable came down, and people were kind of stunned and surprised. They didn't know what was going on. And one of the cables landed in the grandstand. And
Some people got hurt, I heard.
Yes, 10 of them. 3 went to the hospital, and at this point they have been cleared. And we'll have to see if there's any suits filed later on. We'll have to see.
Now this was one of those, because NASCAR has done a great job in the last couple of years. They have your cameras everywhere. They're mounted in the dashboards. They're mounted on the fronts. These were actually one of those. I call them NFL cameras, right? Isn't it one of the ones that floats over the track or something? Isn't that what it was?
It wasn't floating. This is they've done this system or used this system before. They used it at the Daytona 500. And they used it last week at the All-Star race. So this is the third time that Fox has done this. and it just did not work out for him. And they're not going to use it next week at Dover because they're trying to sort everything out. But Kyle Busch was leading at the time, and this cable came down, and really, as he ran over it, came on the track.
Tore a couple of the cars to pieces.
It tore his car all to pieces. And Marcus Ambrose, it really beat his car up, but they were able to fix it. They fixed Kyle Busch's, as everybody had 15 minutes to repair their cars, as long as damage was due to the cable.
And that was the most amazing part of it, because I know that when there's debris on the track and stuff like that happens, they go to caution. But I don't ever remember them stopping a race and allowing people to repair cars under a red. I don't ever remember them doing that. That sounded like, that was, but I guess they didn't have any choice, because the cable coming down, it created some pretty severe damage in some of these cars.
Especially the Busch, as his front wheel was locked up, as the cable just ripped it. And Busch even took a picture. If you're watching the race, he had his camera and took a picture of it, and then went back to the crew. So because they only had 15 minutes, and they were concerned to see if they were going to be able to fix it. They fixed it, repaired it, but his engine blew up, I believe, at lap 253, and his night was done, and he was disgusted.
That's it's one thing to get knocked out by your compatriot driver, but have a camera take you out of the race, that's not a good thing.
It was the drive rope that moves the camera back and forth as it failed near its turn, near turn one, as the camera hung in place over the large painted logo on the grass between the start-finish line and pit road.
Now, who ended up winning the race?
Kevin Harvick.
Kevin Harvick.
The closer.
The closer.
That's what they call him.
I didn't realize Busch went out. That was, how many mile track is that? Because this was lap 120 when this whole camera thing happened.
I think like
Is it a mile and a half?
Yeah, it's a mile and a half, yeah. As that was the final restart, getting back to Harvick.
There's a picture of the camera. Go ahead.
As that was the final restart with 11 laps remaining, and Kevin Harvick sailed past Casey Kane on that restart, as Kane had some trouble, as it seemed like on a couple other ones he was just so slow he could not get his car going, and Harvick accelerated, and Kane couldn't even come close to him.
Now I heard that Catch It Live was competing with Fox for the rights to do this Sunday's race in Dover. And I heard they just got edged out because Colin wouldn't write a big enough check. Big week coming up in Dover. Something's going on this week. The race is actually, there's 3 races this weekend, right?
Correct, yes.
They're doing a
World Truck Series on
Friday.
Saturday, the Nationwide Series.
Yeah.
And on Sunday, it's the FedEx 400 benefiting Autism Speaks.
And there's also, I know, on Thursday, there's an event going on in, is it in Del Mar? What's that called? Monster, or what? You were telling me about it during the break, and I can't remember the name of it. But
I think they had it a couple years ago.
World of Outlaws, or something?
It's like an outlaw race. It's Tony Stewart and Casey Kane. I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago. They showed up on a Thursday night.
I hear that some of the drivers, I know there's a big golf tournament on Thursday, but it is clearly race week. Now, are you going to be up there every day?
No,
you're not going up there every day?
We're going to see the drivers on Thursday. You're going to see them on Friday, but that's it.
You're not being the fans, let it go, sitting up there drinking those cold beers, watching the race.
I don't drink beer, number one, but I can see the race on TV.
What's going on here?
Well, that's a good picture.
Oh, that looks like a cable being wrapped around a tire.
That's when Kyle Busch is checking out things, and then you have the officials as they had to converse with.
I heard there was cable everywhere. They said they couldn't believe how much cable was laying all over the ground.
Well, they had to talk with some of the head officials to decide what they wanted to do. As you can see, all the cable was laying on the track, and they don't know what to do with. Look at it as they're picking it up. Now there's just so much of it.
The rumor I heard was that in Catch It Live's proposal to do this, instead of hanging a camera, they were going to hang you over the track, and
no,
they were going to use a real thick cable. And you're not going to do that. No. So it is a big race. Who's the favorite this coming up in Dover this week?
Last race at Dover, Brad Keselowski. You have Jimmy Johnson. He's a favorite. Matt Kenseth is another one. And we'll have to see what Kurt Busch can do.
Well, hopefully we'll have no cable things. That was
They're not going to use that system at Dover. That's the last race.
Has it ever been used at Dover? Do you know?
No, they have not used it.
It doesn't seem like there's too many happy people out
there.
there.
Third time they've used it this year, and it did not work.
There's your picture of the guy taking the...
that was Kyle Busch, as I mentioned.
What a mess.
And that's that camera with the cables.
That's
a good picture from Fox.
This is all over. You know, I heard, and I did not see that portion of the race, but I heard Fox originally was kind of not talking about the cable.
They were not.
They weren't saying
a
thing.
Yeah.
They were kind of just kind of quietly talking about debris on the track and that kind of stuff. And
they threw the caution before the two red flags came out. Yeah, they were kind of hush-hush if you were watching it. They didn't want to admit they made a mistake. And then after the fact, I think some of the Fox higher-ups conversed with one another, and then they were kind of sorry.
Clean?
They came clean and apologized.
Well, I gotta believe
live
that
on the air several times.
I got to believe that even though Fox may not have broadcast it, that every Twitter, Facebook, all those feeds were going crazy about what was going on at the track. I mean, you can normally sit there and you watch a race. You just follow the Twitter of some of these drivers or some of their crews. You can see what's going on faster than the guys in the booth will tell you about it. So, anything else in the big world of NASCAR? What's going on with the standings? How bad did this last race mess up the points standings?
Well, you have Jimmy Johnson. He's
still the man on top.
He's Mr. Consistent. I don't know if you can knock him off. He's number one, Carl Edwards second, Matt Kenseth. Then you have Clint Boyer, Casey Kane, and Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Junior?
Yep.
Where did Junior end up last year? Did he end up in the top 10 last year? Where did he do last year?
I think he was in the top 10. I don't know the final rankings, but...
Any surprises in the standings?
I don't
Doesn't
think
sound
at
like
this
it.
point.
Sound like
Not
these
really,
are all-
because
these
Matt
are-
Kenseth has 3 wins on the year. Kevin Harvick with his victory on Sunday night, he has 2. So Harvick now is in the 10th position, 10th, and we'll have to see if he can get any more victories. This is his final year for Richard Childress.
Ooh.
He's moving along and going to Tony Stewart Racing next year.
Will that help him, or he thinks it's going to help him, I guess?
Childress has been inconsistent. Without Harvick, they're not winning any races. You have Jeff Burton in the final year of his contract. I don't know if he's going to re-up. I know Austin Dillon's probably going to have a full-time ride next year, and he'll probably take a Harvick spot. And we'll have to see, because they usually have 3 teams. Yeah. Paul Menard just re-up, so he's there.
Now, do you know who's the local guy who's getting a ride on? Is it Friday? He's getting a guy from Seaford.
Right.
Is getting a ride on Friday.
In the camping.
I think
Cup
so. It's in the
World
truck
Series,
thing.
yeah.
I can't remember Austin. I can't remember the guy's name. But yep,
CJ.
We got a local guy.
I didn't want to
driving.
correct you. I was just trying to see if you were going to steer in the right
You
direction.
know, I know enough about this. That's why I love watching you, because you do know all this stuff. I know enough to be dangerous. Anything else on the world of NASCAR that we need to make sure about? It's a great weekend in Dover. I'm sure you can still get a ticket for Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, you can. All you have to do is go to DoverSpeedway.com, and good tickets still remain.
And it is critically important that we support these races, even if you're not a NASCAR fan. This does a lot for Delaware. It does a lot for our community. And it is very important that these races stay here. Other than it being just a great time, it's important. I mean, all the hotels are filled, all the restaurants are filled, a lot of people come in and enjoy it, a lot of people camp. It's very important, and if you think about going, I'm sure you can get a good ticket. Prices are reasonable. Jump on that. Anything else we need to wrap
The
up?
capacity at Dover Speedway is over 100,000.
Yeah, there used to be a time they could sit. The joke was what racetrack can fit 25% of the state's population to watch a race, and Delaware was the only one that could do that.
Well, you have a lot of people coming from Quebec and all kinds of places, from the Midwest, just to see the
And we're
race.
close. We can get up there, and it's not like it used to be. In the good old days, we went up there 10 years ago. You'd spend 2 hours in traffic. That isn't the case anymore. So, well, Anthony, thank you very much for the Spinning Wheels Racing Report. I'm going to take that from if you don't watch it.
You can, it's trademark.
I know. We're going to be back next with Rob Arlett, who's with the 38th Republican District and Beachbound Realty. Anthony, thank you very much. We're live here at Jimmy's Grill where their spaghetti is flying. Eric is actually here, so we're not quite sure what that means, but we do think they're, what's the deal with the croutons? They're baking the croutons now?
Yes, they're fresh.
They're fresh croutons. Jim Weller is amazed by the fact that this place makes their own croutons. So stop in, get a fresh salad, get some fresh croutons, and get some spaghetti. Anthony, thank you again. We're live here at Jimmy's Grill on Catch It Live. We'll be right back after this break. Stay tuned.
Do you have metal? Get it to Fitzgerald Salvage and Recycling. Fitzgerald's pays you cash. Fitzgerald's will pick up your unwanted vehicles and will buy your car or lawnmower batteries. If it's made of metal, Fitzgerald's pays cash and recycles it, which helps the environment. Fitzgerald's will also pick up and deliver roll-off dumpsters, and they accept electronics too, including cell phones and computers. Fitzgerald's is local and family-owned since 1935. Go to fitzgeraldsonline.com or find us on Facebook.
When owning an Echo product, you will discover it's about innovation, not limitation. Southern States in Milford has your complete line of Echo chainsaws, trimmers, and blowers. At Southern States in Milford, try the PB250 blower with a 2-stroke engine, a locking latch that keeps the tube securely connected, and a rotational control, which makes it easier to handle and reduce the stress on the operator's arm. Best of all, the power equipment is backed with a 5-year consumer warranty. Stop by Southern States in Milford at 7308 Williamsville Road or call 422-8066.
Hey everybody, Jim Weller here from Wellers in Ellendale and Bridgeville, talking to you about this energy efficient eye heater. For only $177, you can get a heater that will heat 1,000 square feet on just pennies a day. So if you need some cheap heat, come on into Wellers in Ellendale or Bridgeville. Hey everybody, Jim Weller here from Wellers in Bridgeville and Ellendale, talking to you
Welcome
today
back
about
to
carports.
Bridgeville. We are live here at Jimmy's Grill where the spaghetti is hot and the salad bar has crispy croutons fresh baked in the oven by Sir Eric.
Give us a call or
I'm
come see
Jack
us
Riddle,
today.
and I get the privilege to be here since Jim's off on assignment. You never notice that's what they always say. When the guy's not there, they're always on assignment. Nobody's ever on vacation. They're on assignment. They're on assignment. I'm joined in this segment by Rob Arlett, who's with Beachbound Realty, and other than real estate, he also has another little job we're going to talk about. But before we get started, Rob, Beachbound Realty, tell us what that is and what that's all about.
Well, Beachbound Realty is it's all about the dream. I will tell you, I am like so many people in this country. I had a dream to get to the beach, and I moved here full time 7 years ago. And didn't know anybody here in Sussex County 7 years ago, and came here with a vision and to raise the family, much better quality of life.
No doubt about
and,
that.
So the premise of the business is truly based on that vision that so many people have.
And where is Beachbound Realty?
Our office is right on Vines Creek, right in Dagsboro, on Route 26, and getting ready to move into a larger office, as a matter of fact. So
well, that's a good sign.
Things are growing. We're excited about that, and so we have some exciting things in the future for sure.
Now, everybody knows about how it kind of got out of control.
Sure.
A lot of building and a lot of problems. I'm in the banking business. We were talking about this before we get on, and
no question.
And I do believe it's starting to come back a little bit.
It is.
I mean,
slightly.
Things are starting to happen. People are building again.
Yeah.
Maybe not at the crazy pace, but people are building again.
Right.
And I mean, do you see that? Are you getting more? I guess if you're getting more office space, that's a good sign.
It is a good sign, but certainly there's a lot more activity now than there has been, from this time a year ago. And so I think that people are starting to come out of the woodworks, for sure. Throughout the country, but a lot of people, will see things on the TV, on the news about price increases going up a certain amount, this and that, and that's not necessarily our particular market here. There's definitely activity. Price increasing is maybe a little bit in certain pockets within our county, but by and large, it is still a buyer's market. But there's definitely more activity. The pendulum is certainly starting to swing.
I know we're seeing more construction activity. We're seeing houses. I mean, I read a report that said. We either last month or the month before was they do this index where they compare house ownership costs, mortgage rates, cost to build, and home affordability index was at an all-time high where you can get the most house per dollar than you ever can. I mean, anybody that's interested, if you don't have to sell and you can buy without, that's a sweet thing because. What we see is there's still people struggling to get out of their old house and get into a new one, but the deals are out there.
They are. We've done a lot of that. As a matter of fact, we got started in new construction. As a matter of fact, when I moved down here 7 years ago, I worked for a builder, that big old national builder. So as the market was coming down, I knew one thing: work real hard.
Who were you working for?
I worked for Lennar.
Lennar?
Yep, right here in Sussex County. And
didn't they build at one point in Heritage?
They did. Right here, actually. Our office was right here, as a matter of fact, in Bridgeville. So it's nice to come back to being at home, if you would, so to speak.
I bet you ate at Jimmy's Grill a few times.
We did, more than once, as a matter of fact. So, but yeah, as the market evolved and we kind of grew, we got involved with foreclosures, representing banks.
We don't like to talk about that.
Well, but
it happened.
But it's part of the market and short sales and things along those lines. So at the end of the day, there's needs in this marketplace for sure.
Now, I know you've got a full-time job at Beachbound Realty, but you also. For some reason, I don't know if you missed a meeting or maybe you showed up late or whatever, but rumor has it that you are chairman of the 38th Republican District. Is that true?
That is totally true, and it is an honor, I will tell you, to be the chairman of the 38th GOP.
And where is that? Where's the 38th district?
The 38th district is actually the most southern, eastern district in all of Delaware.
Is that Hockerville down there?
It is Hockerville for sure, and it is now Ron Graveville, if you would. So, but yes, it is. Ron's is the, of course, the elected official who represents the district up and over, and so we are. As I am told, and as I have kind of learned, as I've taken over the chairmanship from Phil Drew, who's an amazing gentleman, certainly the cat's meow as far as the districts go throughout the state. So we are very conservative as a district goes, and very proactive. Lots of people involved with the party, and it is certainly an honor to continue with the torch.
Well, there is a lot of things going on in Dover.
No question.
I mean, there's a lot of votes, and there's a lot of votes where. The votes are not probably going with the consensus of what your district wants to see.
Probably very accurate is in most cases, for sure. But I think that also probably goes throughout not only our district, but also the state, as well as perhaps even that of the country. And I think our country, has lots of needs and lots of changes that must occur, I will tell you. And I think it has to start at the grassroots level. People have to be either involved, or in my mind, they have no really right to complain. To be perfectly honest with you, I think you really need to get involved and be proactive in your efforts.
Well, there's certainly opportunities for improvement. I mean, I'm a Bill O'Reilly guy, so I've watched.
No question.
And everything that's going on in Washington kind of makes you be a little bit suspect to what they're doing over there with all these different scandals. And of course, we've got our own little problems in Sussex County that
Sure.
have been surfacing around. Now, the next election cycle is coming up. Is it? Well, it's not this November. It's next
It's come this next year and a half.
year and a half.
Yep.
So
Year and a half.
the GOP, who has managed to lose every seat
Right.
that is possible to lose,
Right.
except
Right.
for the one it gets for Tom Wagner's, the only
Right.
statewide candidate left. I assume the party is working on trying to surface new candidates and get
Sure.
people that want to propel that conservative vision in Dover. Big job.
It is, but
Good job.
it takes vision, takes leadership, and I think most important, it takes unity. And I think that we have to have a single voice. And certainly, I'm not here to represent, obviously, the state party, or
Right.
for that matter, even that of the Sussex County Republicans. But my opinion is, obviously, at the end of the day, it's all about unity. And I think you have to have a vision of purpose. And I think we all have to kind of start at the basics and start at the foundations of what life is all about, and that is it starts back with personal responsibility. And I
That
think
seems to be getting lost in the equation, doesn't it?
it is. And as a father of two, and happily married with my wife, my beautiful wife, who's over there in the booth over there for almost 24 years.
She's not been in that booth 24 years.
No, she has not. So, but 24-year anniversary is coming up later on this year. But
Wow.
but truly, it gets back down to personal responsibility. And at the end of the day, the solution to our challenges truly lies within the mirror. And as a Christian, of course, obviously is put your faith in the Lord above. And but most importantly,
We seem to have lost a little bit of that edge.
We have.
I don't think we've
have.
lost it so much in Delaware, at least I hope we haven't, but clearly on a national scale, you kind of
have.
got to wonder how these people do what they do all day and then
Sure.
go to church on Sunday.
Well, at the end of the day, we have lots of family, lots of friends that that are not believers of the Lord Jesus Christ. But at the end of the day, in my mind, for those who are not, they have more faith than I do. To be perfectly honest with you, we're not that good, and
No,
so
you're
I
right
have to
about
lean
that.
on a greater source than myself for guidance and for inspiration. And
you kind of want to
for
go to
sure.
bed at night knowing somebody else is in charge around here.
No question.
It's
We
not
screw
just
up- we
us
screwed up a whole
bumbleberries
lot.
running around.
We screwed up a whole lot
So
for sure.
what big things do you see coming in the Republican Party in your district, in Sussex County? I mean, how long have you been in this role?
I was elected this role back in March.
Back in March?
Yep. So about 2 months. Just
So
over 2 months.
hopefully the Republican Party in Sussex has got all their problems behind them. Maybe not so much. Maybe there's still another couple problems.
Well,
remaining.
again, you're dealing with human beings, so there's always, going to be challenges. There's no question about that. But I think we have to be focused on the bigger picture, and we all have differences. You and I will probably agree on most things, but as individuals, we're going to vary on some things. So we have to stay focused on what we do have in common, and I think we need to build on that consensus, and make the decision to decide to disagree on the smaller items at the end of the day. And I think that's really what we have to do, is focus on the big picture, and we have to grow. At the end of the day, we are a party of expansion. We are a party for all. And therefore, it's not just a Republican Party or that of Democrat, but this is our country. And at the end of the day, as
It
citizens...
should be Americans first.
Well, it is. We are all voters. And so, we have to understand that we need to grow as a party, perhaps, and attract more.
Well,
for sure.
I'd heard that Senator Lopez is leading some effort, and I don't know if you're familiar with it, something about the new majority or there's a new task force in the Republican Party that's being formed to just take that vision
Sure.
to a statewide level. And I know he's been touted, or he's been appointed a champion or somewhere in that regard
Right.
to try to bring people back to the Republican Party in our state, which has
Could
lost a
well
lot
be.
of it, lost
Yep.
a lot of its momentum. And
It has, but I think we all want the same thing. To be honest with you, we all want a better life for our family. We all truly, if you're married, you obviously want, you made vows, and it was, for better, for worse, right? Long term. Nobody goes into a marriage thinking that they're going to get divorced.
Right.
So we all have children and expect and hope to be the best parents that we possibly can. We all want our children to be better off than we were. And I think right now, that's truly a challenge in our society, is that our children, we have a 22-year-old son as well. So, and he, I will tell you, we're proud, but at the end of the day, it's tougher for them than it was for us. And I think this is probably the first generation in many that they are worse off than we were growing up. And I think that I take that seriously, and I take that as a personal responsibility, even work even harder for my own personal family, and try to help and be a blessing for those as well beyond.
And it is very true. We started talking about your day job, and one thing I've learned and respected about people is they're the same person.
They are.
Whether you're at work, whether you're at home, whether you're at church, whether you're at Walmart.
Sure.
Folks that I've seen in this community that are the same person seem to do well in most avenues they get involved. It's the folks that try to be something else when they're in different groups that get themselves in trouble.
Right.
So I do agree with you. There's a lot of upside in the Republican Party. I think both of the areas that you're involved in, real estate as well as the 38th district down there, Hockerville, as I call it. Hockerville.
That's right. That's right. Well, we
some
got
good-
involved in real estate when the market was down, and we always seem to go across the grain.
So now it's ready. You're ready for the lift.
No, quite. We're creating it. I mean, somebody has to, right?
Now, if somebody wants to reach you and talk about real estate, they want to talk about being a part of the 38th district, how do they reach you, Rob?
No question. A couple different ways. I mean, obviously, as far as number one method would be probably go to my email. That would be Rob at, and then beach as in the beach, bound as if I'm going to get there, I want to get there, BOUND, and then
Pretty easy to remember.
DE for Delaware. So it's Rob at beachboundde.com.
And what about a phone number?
My direct cell phone number is 302-462-5746. That's my direct personal
That's
cell phone.
302-462-5746.
That's the one.
Or Rob at beachboundde.com, because we want people to be beachbound here in Delaware.
Delaware. It's all about Delaware.
No New Jersey, none of these other places.
We have an amazing opportunity here in Delaware. We truly do. It is really an amazing lifestyle. I've lived all around the country. I lived in San Diego, I lived in Hawaii, I've been all over this place, and what we have right here is an amazing opportunity, and so no question.
Well, Rob, thank you very much for coming in tonight, telling us about Beachbound.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Giving us an update on the Republican Party. And we are actually live here in Jimmy's Grill, where they've got their all-you-can-eat spaghetti special tonight. Rob, thank you very much for coming in. We've got another powerhouse realtor coming up next, Kevin Jefferson, who is, you can be the big show at the beach. This guy's the big show on this side.
There you go.
And he's going to be joined by Anthony Joseph, the spinning wheels guy, so I can't wait to see how this goes. So this ought to be interesting. I'll give you some questions from the gallery, okay? Join us here in Bridgeville. Stop in, have dinner, watch us do the show. If you're interested in being on the show, if you're interested in wanting to be a sponsor of the show, get up with Colin or Jim. There's lots of opportunities. If you've got a nonprofit or an organization that you think would gain from the exposure, there's a lot of ways Catch It Live can help you. So stop in, give them a call, check it out at catchitlive.com. I'm Jack Riddle with Rob Arlett, and we'll be right back in Bridgeville.
Jim Weller here for Catch It Live, and I'm so excited about all the opportunities this new year holds. If you have a business and you would like to see what Catch It Live could do for you, give me a call, Jim Weller, at 302-337-7300, or shoot me an email at jim@wellers.com, and let's get together and see what Catch It Live can do for you.
Hey, this is Colin Walls of Walls Service Center in downtown Milford, letting you know we do all types of auto repairs, including brakes, struts and shocks, tune-ups and timing belts, and we specialize in custom exhausts. We've been in this business since 1958, so we understand what our customers' needs are. So if you're looking for a new repair shop, come to the old repair shop, Walls Service Center, Front Street in downtown Milford.
If you're tired of coming home at the end of the day with cold, wet feet, get over to Southern States of Milford and try Red Wing boots on for size. Red Wing's waterproofing insulation assures your feet stay dry and comfortable all day long. And the exclusive Red Wing King Toe boot gives your feet 44% more room than regular work boots. Whether you spend your day climbing ladders, tilling the soil, or building something new, Red Wing's flexible membrane allows your boots to conform to your feet, not the other way around. Call 422-8066 or stop by Southern States of Milford on Williamsville Road today.
Hey everybody, Jim Weller here from Wellers in Bridgeville and Ellendale, talking to you today about carports. We sell carports. They include delivery and setup right to your yard. You can get a 12 by 21 for as little as $695. Give us a call or come see us today. Hey everybody, Jim Weller here from Wellers in Ellendale and Bridgeville, talking to you about this energy efficient eye heater. For only $177, you can get a heater that will heat 1,000 square feet on just pennies a day. So if you need some cheap heat, come on into Wellers in Ellendale or Bridgeville.
Got metal? Get it to Fitzgerald Salvage and Recycling. Fitzgerald's pays you cash. Fitzgerald Salvage and Recycling is environmentally friendly, and helping to keep Delmarva clean and green by recycling. So bring your copper, aluminum, and brass, stainless steel, wire, lead, light iron, heavy steel, tractors, farm equipment, lawnmowers, and appliances, barbecue grills, aluminum cans, even cars and trucks. Fitzgerald's is local and family-owned since 1935. Jesus recycles people, Fitzgerald's recycles cars.
Jim Weller here for Catch It Live, and I'm so excited about all the opportunities this new year holds. If you have a business and you would like to see what Catch It Live could do for you, give me a call, Jim Weller, at 302-337-7300, or shoot me an email at jim@wellers.com, and let's get together and see what Catch It Live can do for you.
And we're back live at Jimmy's Grill in Bridgeville. I'm Anthony Joseph, joined by Kevin Jefferson from Callaway, Farnell, and more. And thanks, Kevin, for taking the time today.
No problem, Anthony.
Kevin, tell us about your tenure with the Realty company.
I've been in real estate for going on 9 years. I've actually recently switched over to Callaway, Farnell, and more March the 1st. And I'm very excited about the opportunity to work with a company that's been in business for 60-plus years.
What are some of the big projects that you're working on?
Right now, some of the big projects I'm working on is Cypress Point Development, which is in Seaford. It's right outside of historic Bethel. It's a booming new community. Homes are starting at $174,900. You can get 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, and a 2-car garage on half-acre plus lot. Great construction by LBG Homes. You get a good product, and at that price right now, you can definitely get a mortgage for around the same price as you're paying for rent in most areas.
So these are really affordable houses for low-income families?
Not really necessarily low-income family. The hard-working Sussex County family who just have an average job and, been diligent with their money and are looking to purchase a home and put their family in a nice place.
Now, with the economy, has the market turned around yet?
I think the market has turned around quite a bit. Things are definitely moving. I'm getting more calls and showings on my listings. I'm getting more people that are interested in looking to purchase. It's still a buyer's market, but sellers are able to sell their home. Maybe not make as much money as they once would when it was booming, but they're able to sell their homes at a good price.
What is the territory that you sell to? Are you Kent County also, or just Sussex County?
I will sell anywhere in Delaware and Maryland. However, I'm licensed in Maryland. I pretty much sell from Dover down to Salisbury over to maybe Ocean City area. Anything above Dover, I refer it out to different agents.
What are some of the real estate that you've sold to that people might recognize?
I've sold quite a few homes in the Morningside Village community right here in Bridgeville. I've sold homes I've got a home listed out to Atlanta Estates. I've sold a home out there in Seaford, which was once the booming community for DuPonters back in the day. I also have sold homes in Georgetown, Millsboro. So I'm not just, even though my company's in Seaford, I'm able to go in different pockets of the county to get things sold.
With DuPont, you had a lot of people buying houses. Do you see people now wanting to live in Seaford, or has it just spread throughout Delaware?
To be perfectly honest with you, at one point it was tough to sell in Seaford. But now I'm starting to see more homes sell in the city limits of Seaford. I think because in Seaford you can get a great price in a nice house, and I think right now in this market I'm seeing more people from Sussex County purchasing homes as opposed to before 2007, people from Jersey, Pennsylvania, D.C., Baltimore purchasing in this area. And I think it's good that people here are now purchasing homes who at one point they may not have thought they had the ability to because prices were just going skyrocket.
Are people going towards the newer houses, or are they going for the older models?
I think that people are going for whatever their wife picks if it's a couple. If the wife wants a new house, that's what they get. If the husband, thinks that it's good to build, it's just a matter. I think right now, the way construction prices are, I think that it's good to look at new construction as well. I always tell people it's good to look at new construction because it's their vision. When they buy resale, they're buying someone else's vision. When they buy a new construction home, it's their vision, their colors, their layout, their carpet style. And I just think that it's a great opportunity for someone to get in something that's never been lived in and they can truly call their home and it's their vision.
Have you seen throughout your years selling as a real estate agent that the older houses, when you purchase one, they have a lot of repairs that the homeowner might not be aware of?
At times. I've actually seen it with new construction houses as well. But typically, it's something about those older homes that were built with different type of materials that last for a long time. Now, there are minor things that you don't get an opportunity to see. Things in the attics and crawl spaces that the average homeowner doesn't know is going on. Or things that people may let linger simply because, it doesn't bother them. But for the most part, I think that it's a case-by-case basis. Every house may have its issues. And I tell people when they buy new construction homes, there's also things that you want to change even though it is your vision. Color, the paint, the, small things about windows and, just different things that you could change in any house. But to answer your question, not as much as you would think unless the house wasn't taken care of or has been sitting for some time.
Now, a newer house compared to an older one, can a homeowner save on electricity?
Yes, typically they can. It doesn't necessarily have to be an energy-efficient home. The KVO code has changed over the years, which is a builder's code where they require different type of insulation in homes in the attic and the crawl spaces. I think the new construction homes now are built a little bit more tighter where there's less air getting out of. There takes a lot to become energy efficient certified, but builders are building a better and a more efficient home, and you are able to save on your electricity bills and gas heating bills, especially with different products like the low E windows or the insulated doors or the Rinnai hot water heaters.
Are you seeing a lot of homeowners buying eco-friendly houses?
Yes, I think that people want to, they have a vision for the future, and I think that right now, the way the economy is, people want to live, they don't want to be house poor, so they're trying to save on everything they can. A trend that I am seeing now is more families condensing into one home where you have maybe 3 generations. You have the grandmother, the mother, and then the mother's kids. So, people are starting to try to take more responsibility and kind of go back to the old days where a lot of the family lived under the same roof on the same property.
So it seems like everybody's just trying to save, but you said the market is kind of turning around a little bit.
Yeah, the market is turning around. Definitely getting calls, and it's from different price ranges. I have listings that start at $139,900 up to $312,000, and I'm getting calls on all of them in between, and actually I've gotten more calls on the listing I have for $312,000 than I have the one $139,900.
Now with the beach weather and everybody likes to go to the beach, are you getting a lot of requests for homes at the beach, maybe Bethany Beach or Dewey? Or?
Not necessarily. I don't field a lot of calls for the beaches, but I do get people who move from different areas that to them being 30 minutes, 45 minutes away from the beach is being at the beach to them, as opposed to us, we're used to being, 20, 30 minutes away from the beach. Now people moving from 2 and 3 hours away thinks being 30 minutes away is great. So it's just a matter of perspective, but I don't get a whole lot of beach calls.
What are some of the listings that you have for homeowners that they can buy, or do you have like a big list?
I've probably I work in a multi-listing system, so I can actually show anything in Delaware. Right now, I have, like I said before, I have Cypress Point, which is a busting new community. I've got a home for $219 out to Atlanta Estates. It's 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, a 2-car garage, and a nice development just outside of town, but not too far in the country. I have a couple of foreclosure listings, one in Ellendale. It's about 4,000 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, and it sets on 17.71 acres, which is actually under contract. And I have a few listings coming up in Georgetown. I've got 2 listings coming up in Ellendale. So I've just got, a lot of listing opportunities coming up now.
If somebody is on a budget, is a foreclosure a house is something they should definitely look at?
Foreclosure is tricky. It depends on if they have money or money to make repairs. Typically, some foreclosures have repairs that need to be made, and banks typically don't make the foreclosures. Often it's a case-by-case basis, but a foreclosure transaction is kind of like any other transaction. You have to get your home inspections and get your financing in place, and then kind of see what comes up. Because the bank hasn't lived in the house, so they don't know the ins and outs of the house. All they know is their inventory, and they need to sell it. But it's a great option to look at, foreclosures and short sales.
Does it seem like a short sale takes a long time compared to just buying a house outright?
Yes. I tell people there's nothing short about a short sale. The only thing short about a short sale is that the bank is being shorted funds that's owed to them. There are some good deals out there for short sales, and banks are offering some closing cost assistance on short sales. But yeah, they typically take a little longer than the average transaction. The seller has to agree to the price that you come up with, and then the information has to be shipped off to the bank and to the investor for them to make a decision, and they have a little bit of time for due diligence. Banks are getting a lot better with the process. They have streamlined processes, but sometimes there's things that come up, such as second mortgages and maybe even the third mortgage, that could slow up the process.
It would seem to me, in my opinion, that a bank would want to try to unload it as fast as possible so they could get some money back on it.
Yeah, you would think that, but their process is not the same as, their thinking process sometimes is not the same as ours. But, a lot of time when you pay your mortgage payment to someone like a Wells Fargo or a Bank of America, they're not necessarily the owner. They're the servicer, and the investor is probably somewhere overseas, and they have to get permission from the owner to sell the asset off at a lower price.
So if somebody has a certain budget, you have a big database that you can go in and really accommodate somebody.
Yes, I do. The multiple listing system is, has majority of the properties in that real estate agents have listed. The first thing I would do is get the person pre-approved so we know their budget. Without being pre-approved, it's kind of shot in the dark as to what price range they can afford. Once they let me know the price range they're in, how many bedrooms and baths they need, then we begin the process of looking for a home, and we go in and take a look at the homes. So yeah, any kind of budget, we can try to find you something. It's just a matter of, what the bank will lend you and what accommodates your family's needs.
Kevin, we have to take our first commercial break during this segment, but more to come as we're live at Jimmy's Grill in Bridgeville. And we're back live at Jimmy's Grill in Bridgeville. My special guest, Kevin Jefferson. And Kevin, now I'd like to talk about briefly about first-time home buyers. What process do they have to go through? Is it a lot of paperwork if you're buying your first house?
The paperwork is typically the same between buying your first house and your second. There's some great programs out there for first-time home buyers. You've got USDA, which is 100% financing. You also have FHA, which is 3.5% down payment, which can be combined with special programs from the Delaware Housing Authority, which can get first-time home buyers into properties for literally maybe $0 to $1,000. There always has to be some type of investment, whether it's for the home inspections or for the earnest money deposit. The paperwork is not as bad as it used to be. When they were doing 80-20 loans, you were signing the same documents 2 times, one for the 80%, one for the 20. But now with the 100% finance and FHA, I think everything is okay.
So what are some of the advantages of a first-time home buyer?
Some of the advantages for first-time home buyers are they can save money on their transfer tax for Sussex County. Sussex County waives their portion of the transfer tax. And if they live in a municipality such as Seaford, which is inside of the city limits of Seaford, Laurel, Bridgeville, even Georgetown, then they can save their percentage of the transfer tax with them. And the only transfer tax they would have to split is 1.5% between the buyer and the seller, which would go to the state of Delaware.
Do you see a lot of home buyers, first-time buyers, maybe go after houses that are auctioned off?
I've been a part of some auctions with my foreclosures, and yes, I see them go into the process, but typically first-time home buyers are working with financing, and people who are usually at auctions are investors who have cash because there's a different set of guidelines in auctions as far as inspection periods and closing time. So they do come out, but they typically don't get the deal because the cash buyers and the investors typically went out.
When you're looking for a house, what is the number one thing that you need to determine?
You need to determine what can you afford. Because the bank tells you that you can afford $225,000 doesn't necessarily mean you want to pay that monthly payment. Affordability is key. The other thing is you want to make sure that the property can accommodate your family. And I always tell my clients to look at it in the future reference. Even though you have a 30-year mortgage, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be in that particular house for 30 years. So you want to make sure that the property would be something that is resellable, to someone else, because everyone doesn't have the same vision or, want to see the same property.
What time of the year do we see a lot of houses on the market?
Typically, you see houses on the market around this time of year. They start to come on in spring. People want to put the house on the market towards the end of winter into spring because they want to be moved in and have the house sold by the time school starts back up.
Now, Kevin, why did you get into realty?
I've always had my mother owns a home, and she's owned a home since I was a kid. I was always intrigued by the real estate market, and this is a true story. I had graduated from Dell State in 2002, went to Wilmington College to check on getting my master's in business administration, and I had talked to the young lady about getting my master's and was okay to go on the program. I walked out of Wilmington University, and I happened to see a Dell Tech booklet. And I was flipping through the booklet, and I saw the real estate class was available for $476. So I took out the paper that she had that said $10,000 debt or $476, and I chose to go with real estate. True story.
And you've been happy ever since?
Been happy ever since. However, I did go back and get my master's in 2010.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Besides real estate, what are some of the other hobbies that you're working on?
Other hobbies I'm working on is I just completed one of the biggest projects I ever did, which was a alumni basketball game for Seaford High School, which is where I graduated at, which turned off great. We had a lot of the hometown athletes come back. We honored Coach Dave Baker and Coach Charlie O'Donnell for their service and dedication and sweat and tears for the Seaford program. And another program that is near and dear to my heart is the Western Sussex Boys and Girls Club. I'm a board member of the club and actually skipped out on a meeting for this interview.
Oh.
But they're near and dear to my heart, working diligently to try to get things back and get programming for teens and kids so they'll have somewhere to go after school and make the Seaford and the Western Sussex community a better place.
Now, the alumni basketball game, is that going to be annual, or is that was that a one-time thing?
No, it's definitely going to be annual. Right now I'm in negotiations with the school. I'm trying to work on having it the weekend, the Saturday of Mother's Day, because most of the guys come home and visit their mothers during that time. It's going to be an annual event, and as long as we can, we're going to try to honor someone who's been instrumental in the alumni, in the Seaford basketball program.
Who were some of the players that attended this time?
We had Andre Matthews, who attended. We had Terrell Drummond, who played on the state championship team. We had Shannon Henry, Deion Kellum, Sean Willis. We had Stoney Briggs, who played basketball for Seaford but went to play professional baseball for a few different organizations. Mike Neal was coming, but he had to back out at the end. But he sent his thanks. And we had guys like Kenny Norwood, who was Seaford's first recorded 1,000-point scorer, who went on to do great things playing basketball in Germany.
Now, are you going to try to work on Delino DeShields? I know he lives in Georgia, but you're going to try to get him back to Seaford, get back to his roots?
Yes, I tried to get Delino, but I knew it was a tough shot because he coaches baseball.
Mm-hmm. He's the manager.
He's the manager.
Cincinnati Reds organization, minor league affiliate.
Yep, and it's hard for him to get time off here. I did reach out to Lovett, and he said he gives me his word he'll be here next year. But we're working on something special to get Delino back in Seaford. You'll hear more to come soon.
And Lovett Purnell, the former tight end for the New England Patriots.
Yep.
So he hit the big time, too, also with Delino.
Yep, he did. Lovett Purnell did hit big time.
Kevin, we're all out of time. I really appreciate you coming by and being live at Jimmy's Grill. Is there anything you'd like to add before I let you go?
Yes, if you have any calls or concerns about real estate, you can give Kevin Jefferson a call at 302-462-1113.
One more time, Kevin.
302-462-1113. Thank you.
You have an email address?
Yes, you can reach me at kevinl.jefferson@gmail.com.
And thanks once again, Kevin, for taking the time. More to come as we're live at Jimmy's Grill in Bridgeville. Bridgeville. I'm Anthony Joseph with my friend Jack Riddle from Community Bank.
You betcha.
And Catch It Live is going to be live June the 12th. It's going to be a community forum at live at Abbott's Grill. Tickets
Live?
Yes.
Wow.
Catch It Live is going to be live.
Catch It Live is going to be
Tickets are
live?
only $25.
Now, $25. What's that get you?
Meal at
Meal.
Abbott's Grill.
Abbott's Grill,
and the
great.
food is delicious.
And the
That's
great
according to
restaurant.
Colin, because he goes there all the time.
I've noticed that.
It's fresh,
It's either that or
delicious.
burgers and beans. It's one or the other. I mean, it's Belcher's
It's
restaurant.
got to be good or he wouldn't be going back.
Now, 6 o'clock is when the event starts. That's when dinner is. $25. You need to make reservations here, right?
6 p.m. dinner
This is
and
not a
then
just
7
show up
o'clock
thing,
the
right?
forum.
Right. Yeah, this is a community event where they have Catch It Live has been able to get local politicians who really are the driving force in making our community what it is. I know so far Dave Wilson has been he's confirmed, Ruth Brigg Kings, John Atkins, and I know there's a couple other people we can't announce on the air yet because they're not officially in. But the format's going to be dinner at 6 o'clock, and at 7 o'clock you're going to do the forum. And Colin, you have a few more details about the event?
Yeah, well, it's going to be dinner, and it's going to be a buffet style dinner. There's going to be some sort of chicken. We'll have the details on all this later. There's going to be some sort of vegetarian dish. I think like a vegetarian lasagna, and a couple other things. But it is going to be like a true community forum. The community won't be asking questions. It won't be a town hall. The media will be asking the questions.
And you've got some pretty big names in media coming too,
Yeah,
right?
Dan Gaffney will be there from Delaware 105.9. We're going to have Andrew Koch from WGMD.
GMD.
Yep, and we're got some people that aren't confirmed yet for some print media.
So if somebody wants to come out, have a great dinner at Abbott's Grill, and hear firsthand from politicians what's going on in our local and also our statewide efforts, that's a great way to do it. It's June 12th. That's a Wednesday. $25. Where do they get the tickets?
Well, I'm going to be coming out with the details here soon. We're setting up a website just for this, so you're going to go to a specific website to get.
Now, this is 2 weeks away, so you got a little bit of time to get your
Right.
calendars together. But right now, put a pencil on June 12th, 6 o'clock, Abbott's Grill, Community Forum. A great way to spend an evening, get a great meal, and see a big handful of your elected politicians. And you know that if Gaffney's going to be there, he's going to get him on the hot seat about what's really going on in Dover, and you really hear the straight line on what's going to happen. Probably the rest of this coming legislative session.
And the topic is going to be the budget because the budget's coming up. It has to be passed by the end of June, before July 1st. So typically what they do is they stop the clock at midnight because they'll go past
Right.
June 30th, I believe it is.
Right.
So they'll stop the clock at 11:59 and 59 seconds, and then they'll continue. They'll call a special session and continue on from there, and then they'll have it done before the clock actually goes to midnight. So we'll be in the
Now,
morning.
you're not going to do that on Wednesday
We
night,
will
right?
be there.
You're going to
no.
stop the clock
We will not
Wednesday?
stop the clock Wednesday, but on June the 30th, we will be there that night live from
So
Leg Hall.
if anybody's ever seen that live and in person, you know it's a big deal, but not many people, it hasn't been really opened up. You're going to be right there
We are
and
gonna
be
be
able to
there.
watch it live on Catch It Live that night?
Yes, we will, and we're gonna be talking to as many
That is
politicians
by-
and everybody.
That is way past Jim's bedtime. How are we doing that?
I'm not sure.
Jim's he's not a real, are you going to be up there? You'll keep him straight.
We're going to load them up with Red Bulls and coffee and things like that.
You're gonna, I'm sure he'll be happy to hear that. That is next, or excuse me, it's June 12th.
at Abbott's Grill.
Abbott's Grill. Now, you wanted to talk one last time about Dover, is that what I hear?
Yes.
Is there anything going on in Dover tonight?
Don't act that way.
Is there anything going on? Is there anything going on in Dover?
Going
All right, tell us what's
It's
going on
race
in Dover.
weekend.
It is race week.
Yes.
It's not just race weekend. They're probably here now.
Yes.
I mean, the trailers are coming in, the campers
they
are there.
start, I believe, even Sunday with their campers.
No, the
and
VIP,
they'll be out there all week.
the VIP event for Catch It Live is where?
You're too much. But I'll tell you what, we're going to be on Friday at Dover Downs. We're going to get some interviews and get a lot
Wow.
of footage.
That's great.
And yes, we will have some big interviews next week.
Well, next week on this show? Or You going to show any of them on here?
We'll have a couple.
That's pretty exciting.
At least probably from the sports show.
Now this is Is this Catch It Live's first forum into NASCAR? Was Catch It Live even around the last race? I guess they were. Well, this is very exciting. So I cannot wait to see you're grilling these drivers about Cablegate, about all those great things. Tickets are probably still available.
Yes.
There's Friday night race, which the gentleman from Seaford's going to be in,
yes,
right?
Camping World Truck Series.
And that's Friday.
That's Friday night. I believe it's like 4 o'clock.
And then Saturday's race.
Nationwide Series.
Yeah, Nationwide Series. What time does this start? Do you know?
I'm not real sure, so I'm not going to say. But the Dover
afternoon?
one, I believe, is like 1 o'clock.
You know, there used to be a time when Dover was a pretty scary place, but now it's a great family event. You see, especially on the Fridays and Saturdays, you see tons of kids. It's a great experience just to walk the grounds and see all the stuff that's going on, and then stay for the race. But it's just a great family thing, and it's so very important to our community that we all get behind making sure this race is and stays successful. The folks at Dover Downs, they've got a lot of money on the ground, and we need to make sure that they're successful, so the rest of the community is successful, and so Catch It Live will have a place to go in the fall and the spring.
Well, you're talking about Cablegate. There's another compelling story. As Bruton Smith, before the race, announced that he wants to move one of the Charlotte races, because they have 2 each year, just like Dover does. And he wants to take one of them and give it to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, which only has 1 at this point. NASCAR has responded to Bruton Smith and said at this point we do not want to move Charlotte Speedway with their second race.
Does he own both tracks?
He does not. He owns Charlotte,
right,
but he does not own all of the NASCAR races on the schedule,
the
tracks.
But who owns the other race, the track where they want to move it to?
He owns Las Vegas. He owns Atlanta, Charlotte, Bristol, Texas.
Wow.
He does not own Kansas.
And he does not own Dover.
He does not own Dover.
And he does not own Poconos.
Or Auto Club Speedway, or they would probably get rid of one of those races, as the attendance has really declined in the last several years.
It's been tough. I can remember going up there and seeing 125,000 people there.
So that's why the people need to support this, because if attendance is down, that gives Bruton Smith a reason to say, hey, we need to move one of these races to Las Vegas.
And that's going to be a very long ride in the Catch It Live van for you to go. So, and it is important. We do joke about it, but Anthony, you're absolutely right. This race is critical. We need to support it. We need to support it because it's good for our community. It makes a difference. A lot of money comes in around it, and it's a great event. It's a great event. So,
and Dover Speedway, because of the economy, has made a lot of these ticket packages affordable to the families.
Now, you were mentioning earlier, at least on your show, where's the best place to get these deals? Right at their website, right?
Yeah, go right to the website at doverspeedway.com, and you can go on their website, and they have a ticket chart that you can actually, when you go on the computer, and pick your seat that when it's tickets that are available. Well, so you can kind of look at the track and see where you want to sit, as good tickets still remain.
Tickets for Friday and Saturday are incredibly reasonable.
Yes, they are.
It's a great way to go up there, see the track, get the NASCAR experience, and not really spend a lot of money.
Right.
It's not. Sunday's race is a little bit pricey, but still, if you've got kids and you want to give them a taste of what the racing's all about, it's a great way to be introduced to the sport.
And they have a lot of good vendors up there also. You can.
And they have deep fried everything. Deep fried Oreos, deep fried Twinkies, pickles, Snicker bars. You don't look like you've tried any of those.
Nah. Usually when I go up there,
they
have grotto pizza.
They have grotto
That's
pizza.
Usually Dominic, what I sample. You gotta
Dominic is a
big,
big part of that. But I've never seen deep fried. I'm going to talk to him about that at the race. I'm going to see if we can get deep fried pizza. We're going to try that. We're going to try that. Anything else you want to finalize with, or are we about ready to wrap her up for this week?
Yes, we need to wrap this up because, like a basketball game or football
we're
game,
in OT.
we're in overtime.
I do want to thank Tom Protak for coming out, and of course the main man with the Spinning Wheels Racing Report, and then we had Rob Artlett from Beach Brown Realty, and who couldn't forget Kevin Jefferson. You know, we had some powerhouse people in here tonight.
Yeah,
Kevin Jefferson, he is the man. I never really knew Rob till tonight, but he sounds like he's got it going on. And Tom started out, it's kind of a real estate event, except for the Spinning Wheels Racing Report. So, of course, now that I understand you're a real estate expert, and it's going to be the Spinning Wheels Real Estate Report. Is that true?
I try to be an expert in everything.
I am an expert in nothing. So, thanks again to all our guests. And
now, before we go, now Catch It Live, we're going to be at Dover, but you can't forget to Catch It Live. We'll be live on Friday mornings. Colin Walls,
I forgot.
Jim Weller with Dan Gaffney.
This is why you are the man.
1059.
That's why you're the man here.
I'm leading you.
Colin?
As Colin, I believe, gets here about 5 o'clock.
And
when the coffee's brewing, the eggs are hot, bacon's ready to go.
And it allows you to watch this radio show that Dan Gaffney does every Friday here from Jimmy's. I mean,
5:30 to
it's
10.
interesting to watch it because on the radio you don't see all the real craziness going on here, but it's a great breakfast. It's a great time to come out. So Friday morning, 5:30 to 10? 5:30 to 10?
Yes.
And you're going to come out this Friday? No. I'll be here this Friday. I'd like to stop in. And
I will be at Dover Downs with Colin Walls, Jim Weller in the afternoon.
Oh, okay, afternoon. So you're
full
full time.
Guests lined up, and
well, that is great. It's a big week for Catch It Live. It's a big week for the community. Try to check out the race if you can. If you can't get there, catchitlive.com is going to get there for you. Just check in on Friday. Don't forget to put a pencil on June 12th. It's a Wednesday for the community forum. Anything else we need to wrap up on, sir?
I'd like to thank Colin Walls. He's producing the show tonight, also with the intern Grant. So
Grant, fine job. Fine job.
And I'd like to thank Jim for allowing us to fill in tonight, as he's on assignment.
Yes, he's on assignment. He's not. He's on a bocce ball assignment. We're gonna have a special session on bocce ball rules and how Jim Weller plays it. That'll be a special segment. We will have a live remote from the bocce courts. So, on behalf of everybody at Catch It Live, thanks again for stopping in. Thanks again for watching us. If you are interested in being a part of this, either as an advertiser or you've got some community event that wants to be a part of it, check out the website, check out the email. You can send it to Colin at catchitlive.com or Jim at catchitlive.com or Mr. Raceman here. You can always get him somewhere. Thanks again for joining us. We're live here at Jimmy's Grill like we are every Wednesday and every Friday morning. My man, thank you very much. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to be with Anthony here. I'm Jack Riddle, and I believe we are officially...
We're all out of time. We got to go, Jack.
Out of here.
See you, everybody.